Padma Shri Yadav is a former Vice Chancellor of ICT. He is a decorated scientific leader, Emeritus Professor of Eminence and former Vice Chancellor of ICT, recipient of Padma Shri Award, and there are so many different awards which he has received. He is globally recognized researcher. He ranks in the top 2% of the scientists. Mind you, top 2% is huge. He is number 1 in India, obviously, and globally he is number 66 in physical chemistry. With 570 research papers and 137 patents. There are more than 21,000 citations. And being a researcher myself, I know to work for one citation, it is so difficult. He has 21,000. He has been elected to elite academies, 23 Living Indians and US National Academy of Engineering. He is the only second Indian to be elected in the US National Academy of Inventors. Not only that he is an academician, but he builds institutes and he is a mentor. As I already mentioned about Vice Chancellor, he has established 2 campuses, 23 academic programs and raised over 1,800 crores in funding. His mentor, 117 PhD scholars. I think the class should just go on. 158 master students and 51 doctoral fellows. Industry bridges to not just academic. He has been a mentor for so many independent industries and 7 leading companies. So with that, I invite Padma Shri Janshatta Yadav, sir, the stage is yours. While he is coming, I have a question for you, sir. क्या आपके पास दिन में 30 घंटे में जो इतना कर लेते हो?
बराबर आ रहे हैं। थैंक यू सर। लाइव लगा दी इसलिए रिक्वेस्ट किया। सॉरी लाइव है।
Yeah, I don't have 25 hours, but I don't watch serials, movies, and television channels in the evening where garbage is being discussed. Yeah, you can utilize your time very effectively, which I do. I keep on working all the time. Even right now I was working. So ladies and gentlemen, I hope my slides will be shown. 2 minutes? Should I entertain them by something else? Yeah, this happens all the time. There is Murphy's Law. It says if you want to do something, you have to do something else first. And things happen at the most inappropriate time. That is Murphy's Law. Time, it is showing time is up, so I should go home. Are you able to, can you connect to HDMI? See, they had warned me. Unfortunately, I have to go to Calcutta, and it so happened that I am receiving an award from Calcutta University tomorrow. So that is I have to catch a flight at 2 o'clock. But I said, anyway, I'll be here, and then from here I can go. Although I can just talk without any slides if you are not able to. Yeah, so I have made beautiful slides. One of the reasons why I made those slides was that a picture is worth 1,000 words. Okay, here it is. So, Vinay ji and Anup were asking me what will be the topic of your. You want it? Okay. I wish you had given me color mic. You don't have it? Do you have the color mic? Yeah. Hello? Yeah. So, go back. Okay, next. I'll raise my hand. Okay. So, I have prepared slides to make you aware of what is happening. You see people standing in queue with their health cylinders and, so there's what has happened in last, since maybe about 3 weeks now, since the US, Israel, Iran war started, and how it is affecting us, and it is going to affect your businesses because most of you guys are businessmen, right? So, see, the Strait of Hormuz is controlling 20% of global oil flows. Does everybody know that? Prices have been rising dramatically. And during COVID, we had another crisis. The crude oil price was negative. 10th of April 2020, crude oil price was minus $10. That means you have to pay $10 and also take the barrel. There were 3 big fracking companies in Texas. They withdrew their businesses. They said we are not going to invest because hydrocarbon industry has no future. Unless the crude oil price becomes $60 a barrel. And now we are going up to 120. There was a debate day before yesterday. Will it be 180 or $200? That will be the end of most of the economy. Because we are so much dependent on crude oil. Okay? And let us look at some of these issues related. So I am showing you a very dramatic picture here. That is global warming, greenhouse gas emissions, carbon dioxide emissions. Before the pandemic, the CO2, carbon dioxide, was 410 ppm. For the entire year, we were sitting at home, glued to the television, watching Mahabharata and Ramayana. Correct? Still, we added 2 ppm within 1 year. That means something was happening, somebody was doing something. So that time the capacity was 97.4 million barrels a day, refinery capacity. That went down to 85 million barrels a day. But still, activities were going on. May not be entertainment, may not be sports, but and now you see what is happening. March 2026, just 2 days back, this concentration was 429. 1 year back, almost same. And in May 2022, it became 480. That means business activities were restored. That was the indication. Carbon dioxide emissions was the indication of prosperity. Can you believe that? Very odd. And if we do not contain carbon dioxide, and now we are realizing it because of this war is on carbon. Remember, carbon is the culprit for the war. So if we do not contain these carbon dioxide emissions, temperature of the globe will rise to anywhere between 6 to 8 degrees Celsius by 2050. None of us will be alive then. But even otherwise, I want to alarm you by something. The temperature of the place wherever you are living, average temperature, if it rises by 3 degrees Celsius, 80% of the biological species will die. 80%. That is a big danger. And now what is the target? Our target for the entire century is 1.5 degrees Celsius. Alas, the report says that this may be achieved within next 3 years. This global crisis has come. Fertilizer, but we do not require too much of carbon in the atmosphere. And that concentration is 300. Change is real. Climate change is real. Now you see, but there is also geopolitics. Sometimes people call it as a word of VUCA. Volatile, uncertain, dictating term. That is what you have seen now, right? So I don't have to give any explanation. But look at this. US duplicity on carbon emission. Donald Trump said, well, we will drill, maybe drill. He said in 2015 when he was contesting for the first time, and he withdrew from the Paris Agreement. United States was not a Paris Agreement party in 195 nations in 2015. Joe Biden was elected in 2021. April he said we will commit climate action. That was it. But when the same time, Kamala Harris, Indian's darling, he was contesting. Donald Trump, he was also contesting in the same place in Pennsylvania. Donald Trump said he will not go back to so-called climate change, and he will ask people to drill more oil. Kamala Harris said the same thing. What is the meaning of that? That is, it is politics. To win, politicians can go to any extent, help with environment, energy, water. That is what your meaning is. Okay? And the most dangerous thing, which is more dangerous than the war right now happening, which perhaps most of you don't know this. So as a scientist, I must make you aware of that. You know, this is called the Paris Agreement of 2015 was the result of this EPA endangerment finding. Environmental Protection Agency of USA. 2009, they said, we are going to have a danger of carbon dioxide emissions. And so what was that? That was this. It was a legal keystone that allowed US government to regulate greenhouse gas emissions. And what is happening, which is not most of the people don't know. On 12th February this year, Donald Trump revoked that. That means you can emit as much carbon dioxide you want to emit. So that will be the end of the world. If the most powerful nation does not control carbon dioxide, who is going to do that? We are the most populous nation. Next comes China. China have to take 1.5 degrees Celsius 3 to 4 years. It will happen. 1.6 to 1.7 degree, 9 to 12 years. And if it's 2 degree, 25 years. So you have a budget, like you have a family budget, there is a carbon dioxide budget. That carbon dioxide budget, you know, can kill us. See how much? This 130 gigatons. This war in first 5 days emitted 35,000 tons of carbon dioxide. It is still going on. So the war alone is going to add to more carbon dioxide, which people are not realizing. So burning oil depots, explosions, and whatever you see on the television, that is carbon dioxide. Okay, that is all carbon dioxide. So global CO2 budget is 130. You add some more now, okay, because of this war, and that has to be contained in 3 years, which is going to be exhausted. And it continues will have much disaster. So this is what is shown here. I won't go into the details of explaining. This is not a classroom lecture. This is making you aware of things, what is happening across the world. Last year we emitted 42.4 gigatons, billion tons of carbon dioxide. And when we talk about so-called net zero, we have to bring it down to 10 gigatons. That means you have to take out carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. That is the meaning of that. Okay? So anyway, so you can see that 44.2. China is number 1, US number 2, EU 3, India is number 4. We emit 6% of the carbon dioxide. Okay, so our industry is dependent on carbon dioxide. And in Russia-Ukraine war, already 150 million tons up to 24. That war will continue. Correct? So this is what I am trying to do. So this US-Israel war, 5 million tons first 2 weeks, and you see how many things are going to happen. That means these numbers are variable, depends, because they measure this carbon dioxide somewhere in, Hawaii, okay, somewhere on Hawaii. So anyway, now at the same time, you see housewives are worried for cylinder, LPG cylinder. So there is LPG, PNG, CNG, and bio-CNG. These are the terminologies which are used by most of the newspapers. LPG, cylindrical tank, which we know. PNG is piped natural gas. CNG, compressed natural gas. And bio-CNG is compressed biogas, okay, which contains carbon dioxide. So that is what it is. And see the surging energy prices. How much? Yesterday it was 118. It is surging, going up and down, up and down. We don't know what will be tomorrow because it is a spot price, so-called Brent crude oil price. And same is the case with LNG. That is very bad. And look at the inflation. Everybody is worried about inflation. USA, India, European Union, China, and Russia. This is March, this month, inflation. A huge effect on our life, daily life. And energy security. So obviously, because of that, because of this war, everything is disrupted. You don't know whether you will get your crude oil tomorrow. What will happen to our refinery? What will happen to our gas supply? We are getting gas by pipeline, we are getting by tank, all sorts of things. You know, I chair this energy committee of Government of India, and we are really worried what should be the policy, short-term policy and long-term policy. Short-term is people want cooking gas. Long-term, we have to ensure in future this kind of calamity does not come to us. That is where I'm going to talk a little bit about. So this is. So reduce fossil fuel dependence. If we were not dependent on hydrocarbons, crude oil, they will be saved. Correct? That is the meaning of that. So we have to move away. So this is where my individual contribution to hydrogen economy, hydrogen production, storage, transport, that comes into picture. Okay? Then nuclear energy. We have to look at that because India is one of the countries, apart from France, which is dependent on nuclear energy. We have to do acceleration of renewable mass, and also coal and oil. Right now people are using wood, right? And it is polluting the atmosphere. So how good it is. So we have to look at this. So this has caused so many things that happened because of this war. And the economists are worried, governments are worried, leaders are worried. There is no single solution, okay? And so you can see, reduce consumer spending everywhere because you are looking at your pocket. You cannot do that, whether you are doing business or otherwise also. So there is a recession. So this is where I have solutions for this, and these are the 10 things which can be done. This is long-term policy. One is hydrogen technology. We have to develop our own hydrogen technology, water-based technology, water management. Then carbon dioxide. I tell that we have to take carbon dioxide from atmosphere. We can convert that into chemicals, fuels, materials. Okay. Decarbonization of the economy. Wherever possible, do not use carbon. In other words, do not burn carbon. Okay? Biomass valorization, waste biomass, food waste, anything can be converted into chemicals, materials. For example, Mumbai municipality produces 9,000 tons per day of municipal solid waste, MSW. Half of that, 50% is food waste. 10 to 12% is plastic waste. Remaining construction debris. So what it means? We are wasting too much of food. Why do we waste too much of food? I will give a simple example on a lighter note. You go to any party, right? Whether this or any marriage party, birthday party, the chef makes very attractive, colorful food. And so you take a bigger plate, right? You don't take a small plate because you want to enjoy the food. And the taste is not good, so you throw it. Why 50% food waste? Because of that. Number 2, same thing is happening with plastic. Plastic is not bad, I'm telling you. Single-use plastic ban is the stupidity of highest order. We are all alive today because of plastic during COVID. COVID saved us. But what is bad? Plastic was introduced as a substitute for paper because paper used to denude forest. So that was not good, and that was also leading to greenhouse gas emissions. We wanted to plant more trees. More trees, cutting more trees, more paper. So plastic was introduced as a substitute. But technology advances day by day. We became so smart that plastic became thinner and thinner and stronger and stronger and stronger. The plastic bag which you get in the vegetable market doesn't cost you anything. So the bhaiya gives you more than 2 bags. It's part of the hog level. Right? He gives you more because it is free. So what do? Anything free is not appreciated. Free advice is never appreciated. Right? You go to any consultant, he charges you a lot of money, then you say, oh, good doctor. Correct? So free advice is not, so free is not appreciated anywhere. So give free food, it is thrown. So what happens? When the milk pouch comes to it, the milk may be 60 rupees a liter. Okay? The housewife will cut the corner, take every drop of it. She will add more water, shake it 100 times. If she is not able to shake it, she will ask the husband, shake little more. She wants to take the last drop of milk. Why? Because she thinks drop of milk is more valuable, and she puts plastic in the garbage because plastic has no value. That is the sign. Supposing instead that there was a 20 rupee barcode deposit on that, the housewife will never throw it. She will keep it aside. Some other boy comes to her home and collects it. UPI, we are the best nation using UPI. Returns your money, or maybe it takes some content. No garbage will be lying there. Right? If that was it. And in the marriage party, argument said, supposing you go marriage party and somebody puts sort of notice there, madam and sir, if you like this dish, put 100 rupees in the bowl. I can assure you your wife will not allow you to touch it. Because you never eat at home. Correct? Never eat at home. And you can collect the gift and give to the bride and groom. That is, I'm joking, but it's a fact. Wherever, if you ban plastic, more plastic is used. You may take, and a lot of corruption, right? A lot of corruption. Wherever there is a liquor ban, maximum liquor is sold in those states. You agree with me? Yeah, it's good. That is actually a reality. Ban never solved. Better technology is the solution. So I will tell you one very famous politician, I will not name him because I'm not a politician, I'm a scientist. He said, we will ban mobile phones because it is causing brain cancer. Because everybody is using like it, right? Is there a ban on mobile phone? No. On the contrary, people have more than one phone, more than one SIMs, right? Meaning thereby, it is increasing. So what was the solution? Solution was better radiation preventing technology. Radiation shield, not ban. Correct? Not ban. India uses maximum number of mobile phones. Sometimes people use 2 mobile phones. I don't know what they will the second, maybe one for wife, one for girlfriend. Right? No, so that is material use. So we are using too much of materials, and in 2047 when we will be Vikasit Bharat, we will not have any virgin material. Whatever is used has to be reused, whether batteries, anything, everything has to be reused. Plastic has to be reused. So plastic we can depolymerize, create chemicals, materials, whatnot, but it should not be banned. Ban is not the solution. Better technology is the solution. Correct? So anyway, so what I'm trying to tell you that I can do many things. So I'm telling people think negative. Now all sadhus go out on television and say think positive. But I'm telling you to think negative. What I mean is that think of negative. That is carbon negative energy systems and materials. Carbon material neutrality. That is the solution. So if we want to be shielded away from all this nonsense going on globally, we have to be self-sufficient, Atmanirbhar, right? That's what we call in India. So yes, so net energy negative system and sustainability is the new one now. And this is where I talk about this new trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. Solar energy, wind energy and hydrogen energy. This will be my new trinity. So there are 7 different colors of hydrogen. These are technologies. Hydrogen is colorless. Okay? Hydrogen is colorless. Because Anup told me I should talk on hydrogen because I work on that. But I thought I should entertain you for some time and talk about hydrogen also. So there is blue hydrogen, turquoise hydrogen, green hydrogen, pink hydrogen, white hydrogen. Hydrogen is colorless, but the technology by which you do, because that is related per unit ton of I can get the hint. No, but so I'm just coming, I'm closing within 2 minutes. So biomass. I can increase farmers' income, I can make it double by proper policy. These days you cannot go to Delhi because there is a lot of air quality index, people talk 500, 700, whatnot, right? Farmers are burning their agri-waste. Why burn it? Give them incentives. If they pelletize it, densify it, make the pellets, their biomass is 5 rupees. I will give them 10 rupees, so they will collect all carbon. And that can be processed with the help of hydrogen, and I can make variety of chemicals and whatnot. So it is a decentralized business. Because every village people can, whether it is plastic or anything, and we can make all sorts of chemicals and materials. So the philosophy is nothing is waste. Waste has value. Waste has value. That is the mantra I want to give you. But anyway, I will collect the gold. So this is what I am saying about farmers. Since madam is waiting, if I don't stop, she might beat me also. Transport of waste to convert into valuable products. Then going to, I will come to this. So sectorial winners, I have explored defense, renewables, losers, aviation. Aviation industry is affected like anything, right? This is what you know. And India specific, 85% crude import. So we have to push solar and energy and green hydrogen. And of course, ethanol blending acceleration. So energy security, we must worry about that. Our policy makers must think of energy security because we are a very big country, most populous country. And in 2047, we will be 167 crore people. 167 crore. So madam, I have given some advice, now I don't give any advice because you're standing there. So waste biomass, waste plastic, hydrogen together from India's most pragmatic pathway to sustainable energy, chemicals. That is my message. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. It was such an insightful session. And the best part was, nothing is bad. We need to have better technology to manage it, and bans are not going to work. That was my takeaway from it. So, to felicitate Professor, should I say Professor? No. Padma Shri Yadav, I want to invite Rotarian Vinay Khetawat, Rotarian Deepak Jindani, and Rotarian Hiren Mehta. तालियां बजती रहनी चाहिए. So the speaker gifts are sponsored by Jaisai Jewelers, and we are also giving a profitable book which is 10 years of MWE in a book format. Thank you so much today. After Padma Shri Yadav has made us a very responsible citizen by understanding what is good,